Hello everyone, it's great to have you back with us. Do you guys ever wonder how people who live in warm weather celebrate holiday season? Californians have certainly made the most of it, and today we're going to spend a day in San Diego exploring how holiday season is celebrated around here. And since holiday season is just around the corner, I have a perfect holiday recipe to celebrate this episode. Together, we're going to learn how to make dry fruit sweet bread. California is famous for its beautiful beaches and sunny weather, with some cities receiving over 300 days of sunshine each year. San Diego is one of the sunniest cities in California, which can make a holiday season a little challenging. Oh, and by the way, did you guys know that San Diego is called America's finest city? Well, there are many reasons why it got this nickname. So let's go and explore this beautiful city and find out what is it that makes it so special. We'll start by taking San Diego's famous bridge over to Coronado Peninsula. Coronado is a resort city, famous for its grand Victorian Hotel del Coronado. Built in 1888, the hotel is one of the most iconic beach resorts in the United States, known for its distinctive red-roofed Victorian architecture and stunning oceanfront location. For over 135 years, hotel's captivating beauty has been impacting and enriching American history. The Great Dining Room, also called the Crown Room, was considered an architectural achievement of that time, considering that it was spanning 160 feet by 60 feet without any pillars to interrupt the view. 10 American presidents visited and dined among these walls. Franklin D. Roosevelt, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, George H.W., and Ronald Reagan are just some of them. Today, Hotel del Coronado is open to public and to anyone who wishes to take a walk on 136-year-old memory lane. The interior features classic touches like ornate chandeliers, marble floors, and antique furnishings. It's been the venue to notable events, including film shoots for Some Like It Hot, and has hosted famous guests like Marilyn Monroe and Winston Churchill. Hotel is also famous for its alleged ghost sightings, especially related to the mysterious death of a woman named Kate Morgan in 1892. A lot of the decorative pieces are original to the hotel, but one of its most treasured pieces is a stained glass called Woman in a Window. Each year during holidays, hotel will pick a different theme, and they are known for their celebrations on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and even on a New Year's Eve. During holiday season, hotel becomes most alive and welcoming place. There's no wonder why so many people make this place their holiday destination. I'm particularly proud about this recipe because a lot of the ingredients I'll be using today are grown right here on our property. And if you guys follow my work and my program, you know that I will never miss the opportunity to tell you how wonderful it is to grow some of your own fruits and vegetables. So if you have a piece of land, please, please, please plant something. It is absolutely amazing. The recipe calls for fresh orange juice, so I'm gonna go and pick a few oranges. In addition to dry fruits and nuts, we're going to use about a quarter cup of brandy or rum, about a cup and a half of crushed almonds, 4 tablespoons of sugar, We're gonna need a little bit of lemon and orange zest, some butter, nutmeg, and we also will need some yeast and flour. This is 1.5 cups of raisins, and we're gonna start by soaking them in. By the way, longer you soak them, better it is, but these raisins are not too dry. So I'm gonna soak them in rum. There's about 1/4 cup of rum in here. Mix them so that each raisin gets a little bit of alcohol and moisture. We're gonna put this aside, and now we're gonna put the dry figs. These figs are also from our tree. They're pretty dry, and to revive them, I'm gonna soak them in an orange juice. I have about 1 cup and maybe 1/4 of chopped dry figs. Just gonna pour the orange juice over it. We're gonna let them soak for about an hour. Let's work on our dough. To start, we're gonna need some milk, and I'm using whole goat milk, but you can use regular milk as well. For this, we're gonna need 1 cup and 3/4 of milk. To milk, I'm gonna add a stick of butter, and we're gonna bring this to a lukewarm temperature. While you're melting butter, it's important to keep the milk lukewarm because the next ingredient is yeast. And with yeast, we don't want to burn the yeast. We want the yeast to have the perfect temperature so it will rise. So keep the temperature under control, and once the butter is melted, and if the temperature is right, meaning that milk is just lukewarm, we're gonna add yeast. We can go with 2 teaspoons of dry yeast, and maybe just a little bit more. Okay, and I'm also gonna add some lemon zest. These lemons are from our yard, and I never miss the opportunity to brag about things like that because I'm always trying to encourage the rest of you to plant something in your yard. It's a wonderful feeling when you can go in your own yard and pick up an apple tree or fig or anything that you can grow. Lemons are very easy to grow in the area where I live, so I absolutely love having fresh lemons at my disposal throughout the year. So when it comes to lemon, you can go per your taste. You can use zest of 1 lemon, or you can even include 2. Since oranges are in season too, and their skin is so fragrant, I'm also gonna add a little bit of orange zest. After adding lemon and orange zest, the next thing are 3 whole eggs. And I'm also gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm gonna go ahead and use real vanilla. Here goes the first cup, and we're gonna leave it like this for a little bit. We're gonna leave it, and we're gonna watch to make sure that yeast is rising before we start adding other ingredients. It was not an accident that the hotel was built on the edge of the pristine Coronado Beach, often ranked among the best beaches in the United States. On a sunny day, you can enjoy a variety of beach activities like swimming, lounging in the sun, or taking a long walks along the shoreline. And this is exactly what we intend to do. Instead of joining crowds at the shopping centers and spending money on gifts, this Christmas season, we wanted to invest our time and our money in creating memorable moments. Many come here to take a spin around Hotel del Coronado's famous beachfront ice rink. Imagine what would it be like if we all decided to shift from giving material gifts to creating experiences and memories. Memories of shared adventures, laughter, and emotions will be a wonderful way to create lasting connections and meaningful moments. If you decide to visit San Diego, you must visit San Diego Airspace Museum. If you like space and flying as much as I do, this will be a real treat. One of the most amazing displays is Apollo 9. If you didn't know, the Apollo 9's mission was the first crewed flight of all Apollo lunar hardware, as well as the first crewed flight of the lunar module. Can you imagine that this surface we're looking at endured 5,000 degrees of Fahrenheit upon re-entering the atmosphere? My imagination was going wild, and I was pondering on a thought what humanity is capable of when they choose to put their talents forward. Can you imagine how many scientists had to work on this particular project to make it successful, especially considering that this was 1969. An incredible piece of history worth seeing, especially if you have young children. There are lots of hands-on stations which will launch your kids' dreams to wherever they want to go. Museum also features a number of aircrafts from the early aviation. You'll see all sorts of aircrafts, some from very romantic and early era of aviation to playful and unique pieces to these big and mean birds, which by the way happen to be my favorite. I've been in love with flying ever since my childhood. Loved it so much that I even joined Yugoslavia's Air Force for a little bit. Some would say that you haven't visited San Diego if you didn't stop by Balboa Park. World-known San Diego Zoo is a part of this beautiful park. And of course, the park's famous carousel. The carousel was built in 1910, and would you believe that all the carousel features and variety of animals are original, except 4 miniature horses that were added in 1970. The carousel is especially popular with kids, but even kids as old as I would gladly go for a spin. There are a number of small shops where you can grab a little refreshment or a dessert before you continue with the exploration of the town. And often, entertainment comes for free.
So be good for goodness sake. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm a-telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. You better watch out. You better not cry, you better not pout. I'm a-telling you why Santa Claus is coming. You mean the big fat man with the long white beard? He's coming to town.
Let's check how our holiday dessert is coming along. I can see yeast is activating.
Forgot, we should also add a good pinch of salt.
Whenever I'm baking, I try to think and plan ahead and to use the hot oven to bake more than one thing. So in this dish, we have rosemary sourdough rising. So hopefully the sourdough will be ready at the same time when our sweet bread is ready for baking. It's been 10 minutes and yeast is slowly activating. So now I'm gonna add another cup of flour. And I'm also gonna go and check on our dry fruits. Ideally, it would be the best to leave the raisins in rum for a few hours, but as you can see, most of the fluid has been absorbed already. And that's the same case with figs. In fact, I think the figs have picked up the fluids faster than raisins. You can strain the raisins and add them into a dough, or you can just do what I'm doing here. Once the fruit is in, you'll have a chance to soften up even more as it sits and waits for the second round of the dough rising. Ideally, it's the best to keep the dough in a warm area. From Coronado Peninsula, we are heading to downtown San Diego. And when I say downtown, I actually think about the part of the town that's called Little Italy. Being such a big foodies, this is the part of the town we don't want to miss. You'll find a lot of wonderful Italian restaurants in this area, and tonight, to celebrate and honor Italian cuisine, we are having homemade gnocchi in a creamy pesto sauce. As the evening sets in, we are heading to Seaport Village, known for its scenic beauty, unique atmosphere, and variety of activities. On our way to Seaport Village, we're gonna pass Star of India, a beautiful ship built in 1863, which once sailed from Great Britain to India, New Zealand, and Alaska. It was finally retired in 1926, but it will not be restored and proclaimed as a museum until 1962. Did you know that she is the oldest ship still sailing regularly and also the oldest iron-hulled merchant ship still afloat? She's both California's and a national historic landmark. Seaport Village is a waterfront shopping and dining area adjacent to San Diego Bay in downtown San Diego. This is a 90,000 square feet waterfront property featuring more than 70 shops, galleries, and eateries. Seaport Village has you covered with a holiday cheer, both on and off the water. Each year, boating community of San Diego organizes San Diego Bay Parade of Lights, which can be viewed from Seaport Village twice in a month of December. However, one of its coolest holiday tradition is called Surfing Santa. In moments like these, I often think how wonderful it is to live in peace and to be able to celebrate such a special times in our lives and in a year with the sounds of music, with the beautiful lights, and with people's and children's laughter in the background. I wish the entire world was filled with such a sounds. Let's get back to holiday cheer. And to prove to you that I'm not as boring and serious as I sound, here's a little clip of me doing my best to embarrass my kids in public. You can see this is looking great already. The yeast loves it, meaning that it has enough sugar, enough flour, and it's growing. So now we're going to go ahead and add nuts. I'm going with a cup and a half of almonds, and also with a cup of walnuts. This is also time when we're gonna add 2 additional cups of flour. We'll bring the ingredients together to create a beautiful and sticky dough. After which, we're gonna let it rest once again. As our dough rises, we will continue with our night tour of San Diego. Our next stop is San Diego Botanic Garden, where we are going to see a special light show called Lightscape. San Diego Botanic Garden is here to inspire you with its 29 unique themed gardens and a glass conservatory. The 37-acre urban oasis offers 4 miles of trails that lead to ocean views and through celebrated gardens, including the largest children's garden on the West Coast and North America's largest public bamboo collection. Recently, gardens started organizing dazzling and spectacular light show during the holidays. Let's enjoy the lights together tonight, but I promise I'm gonna come back to this garden during the regular hours and during the daytime so that we can take a better look at what this beautiful garden has to offer. Our dough looks great, and so does sourdough. Both are ready. So now we're just gonna work in a little bit more flour into our dough. We're gonna need about 2 cups. And as you can see, I'm scraping all the bits and pieces of the dough from the spatula and from the walls of the pan. After which I'll transfer it to the countertop where I will continue to work on it. Baking at home is more than just creating delicious treats. It's a meaningful activity that nurtures both our minds and our soul. When we bake, we engage in a process that requires patience, creativity, and mindfulness, qualities that are essential for mental well-being. The fragrances and the rhythm of measuring ingredients, mixing, and waiting as the oven works its magic can be very calming, and it can provide us a much-needed escape from the stress of everyday life. For me, there is something deeply fulfilling in a simple act of transforming raw ingredients into something beautiful and nurturing. This also creates a great sense of accomplishment and pride. Baking also connects me to my past, to family traditions, and to the present moment. Teaching our children how to bake is a valuable life skill that goes far beyond just the technicalities of following a recipe. While our dessert is baking, I went on a quick walk to pick up some of the special Christmas decorations. And here we are. Before baking it, make sure to let the dough rise once again, after which you can bake it for about 45 to 50 minutes on 350. It's great served as a dessert, but it's even better with a little bit of warm butter and a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. I hope this simple recipe will encourage you to get to your kitchen and bake something. And if you do, I hope that you slow down to enjoy the process. And when you're done, I hope you'll share the fruits of your labor with your loved ones and with your neighbors. Now that you know what I'm baking for holidays, I'm going to share with you some of my favorite decorations this holiday season. You must be wondering what I'm doing in my garden. Well, we need something red for the Christmas tree, right? Besides our little beehive and a little lamb, some decorations made from wool, and a couple of lemons. These hot red jalapenos will be a perfect red accent on our Christmas tree. This year, one of our neighbors have gifted us a live Christmas tree, which we have not had for a long time. We have switched to artificial tree, and I have stopped altogether buying Christmas decorations. Going forward, we are switching to more earth-friendly and biodegradable decorations, like these. Fresh tangerines from our tree, jalapeno peppers, and small red cherry tomatoes were perfect accents on this wreath. Some of these decorations will be eaten during the holidays, and the rest will end up in our compost. It's very exciting and rewarding to slowly transition into a more earth-friendly celebration of holidays. I hope you enjoyed our visit to San Diego and baking this particular recipe with me. Holiday season is ahead of us, and whatever you celebrate and whenever you celebrate, I want to wish you and your family all the best for the holidays, and especially in a new coming year.
He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out. You better not cry. Better not pout. I'm a-telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm a-telling you why. Santa Claus is coming. You mean the big fat man with the long white beard? He's coming to town.
Thank you so much for watching, and like always, until the next time, please take good care of yourself and those around you.